Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we will talk about the prototype. The prototype is the main antagonist of the series, and as you know, Mob Entertainment has started revealing it to us little by little, chapter by chapter. Every update, every trailer, every little detail has helped us understand more about who it is, what it wants, and most importantly, how creepy it really is. In this video, we will take a full journey through everything we know so far about the prototype. I'll show you all the information collected from the different chapters, official artwork, and hidden clues, and then we'll dive together into some really interesting theories about it. There will be connections, possible backstories, and, why not, some mysteries still waiting to be discovered. We can already tell that the prototype is not just a simple character. Behind his figure, there is so much to analyze. With each new chapter released, Mob Entertainment has given us more and more creepy and fascinating details, gradually building a truly memorable antagonist. Before we start, I remind you to smash a like on the video if you are ready to discover everything about the prototype, and to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next news, theories, and curiosities about the world of Poppy Playtime. So let's start to enter the topic and to discover every little detail they have left us so far. Now let's start talking about the first physical revelations of the prototype. As you know, so far we haven't had a real direct encounter with him in the chapters, but little by little, Mob Entertainment has given us several clues that allow us to understand what he might look like. One of the most obvious details, which we noticed already in chapters 2 and 3, concerns his arm. The prototype has a really unique robotic arm that ends with long, sharp claws. These claws are not just for decoration. In chapter 3, we clearly saw how dangerous they can be when the prototype decided to eliminate Catnap and take him away. In that scene, the claws pierce poor Catnap brutally, immediately confirming the threatening nature of the character. In the following chapter, in chapter 4, we can observe the shadow of his legs. Here we start to understand that the prototype is not just a robotic arm with claws. He has an entire physical structure that makes him scary and deadly. His legs are large, robotic, and shaped like a spider's, which surely allows him to move dangerously. This detail shows us that the prototype is designed to be very strong. The clearest confirmation of the structure of his legs comes from the first official trailer of chapter 5. In that trailer, for a few intense seconds, we can see his legs in action. Those images confirm all our theories. The legs are robotic, huge, and really creepy, with a design that indeed resembles spider legs. Even if it's just a brief glimpse, this appearance allows us to imagine the prototype in his entirety and prepares us for the fact that his impact in the game will be truly devastating. In short, even without a direct encounter, the details we have gathered so far give us a fairly clear image of the prototype, a dangerous being, partly built like a machine, with lethal built-in weapons and movements we can only imagine. Every little clue they have left us increases the tension and prepares us to discover more in the upcoming chapters. Now let's move on to a really fascinating topic, the prototype's abilities, meaning everything it is capable of doing. And believe me friends, this is what makes it truly dangerous and creepy. One of its main abilities is the power to change its voice and imitate the voices of other characters. This is not something to underestimate because it allows it to deceive anyone, even the most cautious and alert characters. Just think about it. If an enemy can perfectly imitate someone we trust, it can manipulate us, make us let our guard down, and lead us straight into its trap. And this is exactly what we saw happening in the story. In fact, in chapter 4, we discover an important detail about Poppy and the prototype. As you know, Poppy had been in contact via phone with a character named Ollie, whom she considered a friend. But at the end of chapter 4, we find out that Ollie was not who he said he was. It was actually the prototype manipulating Poppy through its voice-changing ability. This twist shows us how cunning and intelligent this antagonist is, capable of planning its moves long in advance and deceiving even the most experienced characters. And of course, we can't rule out that in chapter 5, the prototype will use this ability again. In fact, it is very likely that it will, perhaps even pretending to be Poppy herself, to confuse us and trap us. This adds an incredible level of tension. Every time we hear the voice of a familiar character, we won't know if we can trust it or if the prototype is behind it, watching and ready to strike. We can say that his voice-changing ability is a true psychological weapon. It shows that the prototype is not only physically strong but also extremely cunning and manipulative, Every interaction, every communication can become a dangerous game, and this makes its role in the story even more frightening and fascinating. Now let's talk about another ability of the prototype, and I have to tell you that this is one of the most feared abilities, not only by players, but also by the mascots of Poppy Playtime, and even by other antagonists of the game. The prototype has proven to be an incredibly powerful character, and almost everyone fears him. The only one who worshipped him as if he were a deity was Catnap, and this already shows us how superior and terrifying the prototype is compared to other characters. The ability we are talking about is truly terrifying. The prototype has the power to make the bodies of the mascots part of himself. Think about it. He doesn't just defeat them, he can literally absorb them, integrating their bodies into his own structure. This makes him practically unstoppable, because every new mascot he absorbs could add power, abilities, or new tools to his arsenal. A clear example of this is seen with Mommy Longlegs. When we face her and defeat her, she says before dying that she doesn't want to become part of him. This statement is not random because right after, the prototype's arm takes a part of her body, confirming that his absorption power is real and functional, and it doesn't stop there. In Chapter 3, we see that the prototype also takes Catnap's body. And let's remember that Catnap has a very powerful special ability. He can emit red smoke that puts anyone who breathes it to sleep. This means that once absorbed by him, the prototype could have gained this same ability, making him even more dangerous and unpredictable. Every mascot that comes into contact with him risks not only being eliminated, but also increasing his power and capabilities. But the prototype is not only physically powerful, he is also extremely intelligent. Already in Chapter 2, through a VHS, we discovered that he used his intelligence to create laser beams, proving he can plan and design deadly tools. This shows us that we are not dealing with a simple antagonist. The prototype is strategic, calculating, and incredibly dangerous in every way. So, with the combination of his power to absorb mascots, the abilities he acquires, and his extraordinary intelligence, the prototype confirms himself as one of the most fearsome and terrifying antagonists of the entire series. And the more we discover details about him, the more we realize how difficult it will be to predict his moves and survive his attacks. And to conclude, we have to emphasize a very important thing. The prototype will undoubtedly be one of the most feared characters in the entire series. All the clues we have gathered so far show us an incredibly powerful, intelligent, and dangerous being. And we can imagine that in the new chapter, we will finally see his complete appearance. We will probably also get the chance to see his face, finally discovering what the main antagonist of Poppy Playtime really looks like. So get ready, because what awaits us will be truly terrifying and full of surprises. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Don't forget to leave a big like if you enjoyed it, and to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the upcoming news, theories, and curiosities about Poppy Playtime. Stay tuned, there will be tons of new things and details to discover together. See you next video. Bye bye.